We have 3 new suspects who have been arrested in the Boston Marathon bombings. They were apparently friends of Johar Zarniev, that's the 19-year-old who was under arrest, and they wanted to cover up for him. There's 2 roommates. They were not Johar's roommates. They were roommates with each other, but they were friends with Johar, and they went in and actually helped get rid of evidence. I'll explain that in a second. You're looking at them right there. They are Diaz Kaderbayev, that's the guy in the middle. Obviously, Johar is the one on the right. And the one on the left is Azamat Tazbayakov. Robel Philippos is also the 3rd suspect. He's apparently an immigrant from Ethiopia. And here's what they did. When they found out that it might have been their friend, as they call him, Johar, they went and got his laptop. They got a bottle of Vaseline, or a jar of Vaseline that they thought he might have used in the bombing. They got his backpack, and they threw it away. Now, first, when they saw the pictures of him in the press, one of them sent a text message to Johar saying, hey, that guy looks like you. Johar texts back, LOL, / I'm on the run, gotta go, right? So, of course, he didn't say that. He just said LOL. Then he said, jokingly, hey, you know, you shouldn't text me. Seriously. Okay. So apparently that's when the friends started to get nervous. And then they saw that he was, in fact, the suspect later. That's when they got rid of the evidence. Now, the question is, how much should they get? Drop it. Now, if they had helped in planning the bombing ahead of time, life sentence, I don't think it's a question. Now, that's, of course, if you prove that they're guilty and actually did it. Now, they didn't do that. They're 19-year-olds, all 3 of them. They figure, oh, man, that's our friend. We got to help him out, and they get rid of the evidence. How much time should they get? Is it as bad as helping him beforehand or not as bad? We go to the court. Justice Jackson, go.
Well, I'm going to go with what the law generally says. I think it's state to state, but what the generally says when there's an accomplice to say a murder, which this was, multiple murders. If you're in the car with the shooter, if you're just along for the ride, and you don't know what he was planning on doing, and he goes up and shoots somebody in the head and jumps back in the car and drives off, and you're still in the car with him, you're going to jail for life just like he is. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm going with.
Now,
wow, you weren't with him when
harsh.
You weren't with him when he committed the crime. But you knowingly and planned on your own, not because he told you to, but to get rid of evidence. So hoping, which I don't know why they thought this would have worked, to get him off the hook. I guess that was their plan.
Yeah. And look, they knew. I mean, according to the complaint and what the authorities are saying, obviously there'll be a case about it. But they're saying, and according to, by the way, their confessions, the Ethiopian kid apparently lied 3 different times. He faces more time than the other guys do. He was trying to cover up for it, but eventually wound up confessing that when they got the message, when he said, oh, you can go to my room and take whatever you want, I don't think I'm coming back. They're like, oh, that's it. It's him. And we saw his picture. It's him. And we got to help him by getting rid of the evidence. On the other hand, Jesus, you know how 19-year-olds are. Oh, I got you back, man. I got you back. Yeah. Oh, man, you're my homie, etc. Look, yeah, I remember being like that at 19.
Yeah, and that's why I think I'm hesitant to be as this guy over here, like drop a hammer on him. But it's it's obvious it's a very serious, situation. I want to think that I probably wouldn't have done that obviously at 19, and it's hard to, you want to give them the benefit of the doubt that they were just dumb. It was a big mistake, and they probably regret it immediately. But it's hard to really decide what.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. And look, here's the thing. 4 people dead, 260 injured, legs blown off, 8-year-old kid, you know the whole thing. And they knew it at that point. So for them to try to cover up the evidence on that is, don't get any of us wrong, totally unacceptable. And they got to go to jail for that. And that's to send a message, hey, listen, you got an idea about helping some terrorists after the fact? Yeah, you should think twice about that, right? But I think a life sentence is way too harsh. I think Justice Jackson's going crazy here. Right now, the authorities have charged them with getting up to 5 years. The 2 kids from Kazakhstan and a guy from Ethiopia is facing 8 years because he lied more to the authorities. To me, that sounds about right. Jesus, can I get a 2-to-1 ruling here against Justice Jackson?
Just about right. It's hard to really put a number to it, though.
We should change the law then.
Man,
Yeah.
I like how angry JR is. Don't get me wrong.
No, I mean, like, we should, considering that the precedent for just, I guess what you can call a normal murder case, which I've seen certain cases, and I'm like, man, that kid didn't even know what he was getting into. And this guy's up for capital murder. Now, maybe if you're up for a murder charge, you end up in jail for 20, 30 years, and you get a chance. Maybe that's what it's more like. Maybe it's not natural life. Maybe it's 20, 30 years. But you're basically up for the same charge. So if it's a gun, you're up for the same charge. And it sucks sometimes because I've seen these cases where these guys are like, man, yeah, I mean, I was with him. I mean, yeah, I knew what he was doing, but I didn't really know what he was doing. It's weird. But
No, I hear you. Nonetheless, you've been overruled. Okay.
Yeah.
But to give JR's side a little bit more credence, you might be wondering why it says Terroristo #1 in the graphic next to me here. That was their license plate. That's the picture of the license plate. By the way, as you can tell a little bit from that picture, on their BMW, the two kids from Kazakhstan, they're driving in a BMW with a license plate, a vanity plate that says Terrorista #1. It was given to them by one of their friends. Oops. I mean, you can't have a more guilty license plate. I've never seen one as bad as that. So maybe closer to 8 rather than 5 years. Now, my guess is that they didn't intend to become terrorists. And one last thing is, look, for all the guys who are like, oh, it's a plot by Al-Qaeda and it involves this country and that country and oh my God. It's a bunch of idiots with a license plate that says Terrorista #1 on it. I mean, you want to talk about a knucklehead. You want to talk about somebody who does not have a sophisticated plan. It's all these knuckleheads. Now, the result was disastrous. And obviously, we think Johar should get a life sentence. And these kids, I think, should get 5 to 8 years. I think that's just about right. But I understand the anger and the frustration of JR.